Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome all my dear students to ninth standard. Today, we are going to start the lesson from History Chapter 1 Christianity and Islam. Christianity and Islam religion. As you have seen, world around from the ancient history, there are so many religions were existed. Among them, since ancient times, we can see among them the most important religions were Hinduism, Jainism, and Zoroastrianism. Hinduism, Jainism, and Zoroastrianism. So these were actually ancient religions, but these were developed in the ancient time. But later on, in the first century BCE, we can see the two important religions which were flourished. They are called Christianity and Islam. Christianity and Islam. So these were existed in the ancient time, but later on in the first century, so the Christianity and Islam were flourished. So they became the important religions around the world. So in this chapter, especially when we learn the Christianity and Islam, so today we are going to deal with origin of Christianity and life and teachings of Jesus in the Christianity. So let us come back about the Christianity, origin of Christianity. You know about Christianity, that is the follower of Jesus Christ. They are known as Catholics or they are called Christians. So like that, the follower of Islam religion, they are called Islam or Muslims. So in this chapter, where we study about origin of Christianity, so let us understand through the introduction in the first century where the Christianity was developed in the part of Palestine. So in the first century, Nazareth province of Palestine, the origin of Christianity started in the Palestine region. In the first century, so that is especially in the Roman Empire, Palestine region which was belong to Roman Empire. So the founder of Christianity was Jesus Christ. The founder of Christianity Christianity was Jesus Christ. So the follower of Jesus Christ, they are known as Catholics. So now today we have different sects, that is Protestant and Roman Catholics. So now let us come back to the again origin of Christianity. So where this Christianity was born in Palestine region, okay, in Rome, where Christianity was developed very much in the Central Asia, especially in the Roman Empire, in the first century CE. At the same time, that time when Palestine, the situation of the Palestine was worst, where the people were believed in the superstitions, where the people had no strong faith in one God, they became the worshipper of many gods and goddesses. They were not particular about the one God. But whereas when the Christianity arose in the Roman Empire in the first century, of course, many people accepted the Christianity, and where many people were, where the Roman Empire was under the clutches of many rulers. So many of them tried to accept the Christianity. That is the introduction of origin of Christianity in the Palestine region in the Rome. Now let us come back to the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. Life and teachings of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ born in Bethlehem in Nazareth. That is the Palestine Roman region. Jesus Christ born in Bethlehem in a very poor family, and his parents were Mary and Joseph. Parents Mary and Joseph. So Joseph was actually born in very poor family, and he was a carpenter. Okay, and when Jesus got birth, that time the situation was very worse in the Roman Empire, where it was a very crucial time where Jesus did not get no even place to give birth. Mary did not get proper place to give birth to Jesus, whereas finally they escaped from Rome, and somewhere finally Jesus got birth in one of the crib. So that's what every year we celebrate. Christians celebrate Christmas. Okay, in the month of December 25th. So, but that is the background or life story of Jesus Christ. But later on, what happened? Yes, in the beginning he was he did not get proper education, but he had an extraordinary power, intelligence from the divine, and finally he was able to understand the divine faith, and of course he has spread Christianity through his intelligence and extraordinary power, so that he has got from the, maybe he might have got from the Holy Spirit. That's so what we say, Holy Spirit. So that was the intellectual and extraordinary power he got, and of course his language was very simple. And he started to preach the language, the messages and Bible and whatever the message he got, that is so he started to preach around the Palestine and Palestine, and he started to move in Galilee and surroundings. So that is about the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. And later at the age of 35, and he was baptized under the John the Baptist. At the age of 35, he was baptized. Sorry, at the age of 30. At the age of 30, he was baptized under John the Baptist. What is baptism? Baptism is nothing but it is one of the sacrament of Christianity. Baptism. Baptism, it is where one person, the person who come and join the Christianity, so he has to undertake this ceremony. So then once if he baptized, then only we can call him as a Christian. Okay, so that is one of the sacrament which is given in the Roman Catholic Church. So that actually says, so that person has become a Christian. Once if he receives this baptism, okay, so he will be considered as a Christian. So that is the first ceremony or first sacrament. So every Christian has to undergo before he joins the Christianity. So he was given. Jesus Christ also was baptized at the age of 30 so the baptism was given by John the Baptist and in the river Jordan. In the river Jordan River. So how it was given? So he has to go one of the river Jordan, and John the Baptist will be standing there. So he pours some water on his head. So this is how we have to go through this ceremony. Okay, that is about the baptism, and so then later what happened? Jesus did not keep quiet. What he did, he started to spread his teachings throughout the country, and that was his aim. So throughout the world. So that's what he did. So once if he baptized, of course, he started to enlighten the life of the people at the same time, and those who are distressed, those who are in pathetic condition, those who are poor. And he actually by teaching, through his teaching, he made them psychologically very strong. Okay, so that is about the life and teaching of Jesus Christ, Christianity. So then what happened? Day by day, his service his service to the poor, and he started to show kindness towards the people. At the same time, he touched the sick and cured the leprosy. So many miraculous things took place during this time. So now many of them became big fans of Jesus Christ. And later what happened? Up to the age of 33, he has done the same thing. Okay, so by spreading gospel, by spreading messages through whatever he has experienced through God, he started to spread to the world. So then, of course, gradually people consider him as a godly man. So, because he had many followers, at the same time, many people believed in him, and many people believed his miracles. So then he proved himself. Yes, he is a righteous person. Yes, he will do some wonderful things to the people, and many people followed Jesus Christ. So that is about the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. So now let us come to that is about the life. Now let us come to the teachings of Jesus Christ. So what was his teachings? His teachings were very simple. He said, God is one and he is the most merciful. First point, God is one. God is one. Teachings. God is one and he is most merciful. What is the meaning of it? God is one. There are no so many gods. There are no thousands of God, and he is most merciful. Everyone. God is not a killer. So God always loves the people. So that is the meaning of it. He shows mercy towards the people, and is always kind, and is always lovable person. So that is about the one teaching. God is one and he is the most merciful, and is a creator of the entire creation. So he is a creator. So God has created the entire world. So that is about the teaching. And second point is everyone should develop brotherhood feelings. So we have to think that all are our brothers and sisters. So they are not separate people, those who are living in the society. So they all are one. So that is about the brotherhood. Everyone should develop brotherhood. Second point, brotherhood. All are brothers and sisters. Having the feeling of brothers and sisters. So they are not separate. They are not a separate people. They are not related to a separate generation. So they should think that all are brothers and sisters. That is second point. Third point is loving the people who are in distress. So in today's world, what we people always respect the people, those who are having lot of money, power and wealth. But here it is not like that. Jesus' teaching was very simple. He said, love the people, those who are in distress. Jesus told them to search for the poor people, those who are needy, those who are needy, those who need more help. So Jesus did not tell to follow the wealthy people in the world. So that is the third teaching. So help the people those who are in distress. Help the people those who are in struggle, those who are suffering. That is about the third teaching. What was the fourth teaching of Jesus Christ? One should serve others without expecting. So of course today we expect something, if we do something to others, so some of course we have expectation. But Jesus told, don't have any expectation. So what you need to, one should serve others without expectation. They should not have any expectation. So they should be service minded. So that is fourth teaching. That is fourth teaching. You should serve others without expectation. So students, my dear students, please write down these key points. It is very, very important in the teaching, so that you can understand. That is, God is one and is most merciful. Second, brotherhood. Those are in distress. Love those are in distress, or help those are in distress. And serve the people without any expectation. That is fourth teaching. What was the fifth teaching? The fifth teaching was serving people is equal to worship of God. So we can see the service by serving others. We can see the service. We can see the God among the people through our service. That is the fifth teaching. That is, serving people is equal to serving to God. God is always watching us. So if we help to others, so that is made for God Himself. So that is the fifth teaching of Jesus Christ. It means if you serve the people, that repeats you that God is always watching. That is, God is serve to others is serve to man is serve to God. Serve to man is to service to God as to serve God. Even Mother Teresa also told the same thing. Serve to man is to serve to God. Okay, same teaching even Jesus also taught. So then, and sixth teaching was forgive others. Forgive others. It's very difficult to forgive others, but Jesus told forgive others. Even if they do mistakes also, please forgive them. That was one of the greatest teaching of Jesus. So today it's very difficult to forgive others. We always judge the people, but we never realize our mistake. So we never accept our mistake, and we always don't want to forgive them. We always keep grudge on the other people. So but Jesus never told. So forgive others. Next, seventh one, love your enemy. This is one of the greatest teaching of Jesus Christ. It is very hard to practice. Practicality is not possible, it is impossible. Love your enemy. Do good to the people who try to harm you. Do good to the people those who harm you. Love your enemy. It's very difficult practically if you think. Because Jesus said, love your enemy, love your neighbors, serve to God, be kind, be helpful, have brotherly good feeling. God is one and is most merciful. These are some of the greatest teaching of Jesus Christ. So then, after this, let us understand the last point is about how the Christianity was spread around. Please write down all the points without pen. Now let us discuss about the Christianity, the spread of Christianity. The spread of Christianity. How the Christianity was spread around the Palestine or in the Rome. So you know that. So the Christianity mostly spread in the first century CE. That was especially Palestine, that is the part of Rome, Roman Empire, Rome. Now the spread of Christianity. How it was spread? So of course some people are needed to spread the gospel or spread the messages. So that's why Jesus chosen 12 disciples. He had appointed 12 disciples. How many disciples? 12 disciples. They are called apostles. They are called apostles. It means disciples means like how we call it as a guru and shishyas. So they are like shishyas. They are called disciples, apostles. Then they are called apostles in Christianity. Okay, they were, so the 12 disciples were chosen and they were given responsibility to spread the Christianity. Okay, so among them, one of the famous disciple was Saint Peter. So Saint Peter was given the responsibility to spread Christianity around Roman Empire, in the Rome. So that was his responsibility. So Saint Peter has to spread the gospel in the Roman Empire, and later on Peter established the church in Rome. Okay, and later many missionaries started to spread the gospel. Many missionaries flourished, but what happened in the beginning? Of course, Christianity spread rapidly. Okay, so they gave more importance for the Christianity, and of course many people accepted. But later on, after the first century, what happened? Some of the Roman emperors started to persecute the missionaries after the first century. So up to first century, no problem, everything was going well. But after first century CE, so Roman emperors started to persecute the missionaries, where many problems occurred, obstacles occurred. But still, even though so many obstacles they have come across, but they did not give up. But they continued their teaching gospels through around the Roman Empire. At the same time, in the 4th century, Constantine. So Constantine accepted Christianity as a state religion and he made as a national religion. Constantine accepted. Who is Constantine? He was one of the Roman emperor, Constantine. So, okay, in the 4th century, this Roman Emperor Constantine accepted as a national religion, Christianity as a national religion, and he also made the state religion to spread Rome, Greece, to spread Christianity in Rome, Greece, and Macedonia, and in Asia Minor. So these places, Macedonia, he gave permission to spread Christianity. That's what. Okay. That is the person who made the Christianity as a national religion in 313. That's what I told, after first century CE, that is in 313 CE. Who? Constantine. Okay. So to spread the gospel at Rome, Greece, and Macedonia. Okay. So Macedonia. So this is about the then later on, of course, so Christianity got the support to spread Christianity or to spread the gospel around the Roman Empire and even in the Asia Minor also. Okay, so that is about, this is how the Christianity was spread. So finally, so Christianity grown very strongly. So many churches were opened. Now the Holy Bible, the Holy Book of Christians is known as Bible. So Bible was formed. So now we have Holy Book in among the Hindus. It is called Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Islam religion we call it as Quran. So like that, even Christians also has a holy book. That holy book is known as Bible. Okay, so this is about the spread of Christianity. So then let us discuss little bit about the contribution of Christianity. Of course, Christian religion gave many. Christianity gave many opportunity for the education, especially around the world. Okay, education, and many missionaries were spread. At the same time, those who are weak, especially women section, those who are very weak, so they were taken care. Many charities many charity convents were opened today. Even where Mother Teresa is a great example for spread charity. Okay, and she is the one who served the leprosy and other people. She is very great. And later on, so in the Christianity, the two sects took place in among the Christianity, because where the Roman Empire, Roman Church, where some of the Roman emperor who were there, some of the landlords started to question the Christianity once. The priests and some of the principals, some of them were not ready to accept. So that time they started to question the authority of the Pope and also the Christianity. So then later on, that is one of the person, Martin Luther was the person one who asked no authority of the Pope, questioned the authority of the Pope, and he was excommunicated from the church. And later on, he formed the Protestantism or Protestant. So one more group was formed in the Christianity, that is called Protestant. So that today we have two sects in the Christianity. One is Roman Catholic Roman Catholic, and Protestant. So these are the two sects of Christianity. Okay, thank you.